This is a full story. Kitten wishes you all a happy and enjoyable story. Tanya's stepbrother burst into my conference room like a madman, ruining a billion-dollar deal I had been finalizing. My bankrupt girlfriend tried to calm me down, saying, "Tony didn't mean it. Why are you being so harsh? Can't you be more generous?" I chuckled. That deal was meant for your mom's company anyway. Now that it's ruined, who cares? After all, you're the generous one. Her face changed instantly. We were in the middle of an international negotiation when the meeting room door was suddenly shoved open. Tony barged in. "Rocky, you haven't even married my sister yet. How dare you live together before marriage? Are you trying to knock her up and then trick her into marrying you? As a man, I know exactly how your mind works. As long as I'm around, you'll never get away with fooling my sister." Tony shouted like a lunatic, despite the assistants and security trying to drag him out. He clung to the room like a wild beast. He was a boxing coach, tall and muscular. Most people couldn't handle him, and since he was the future brother-in-law of the boss, no one dared to use force. The chaos turned the foreign businessmen's faces cold. Clearly, the interpreter had translated Tony's words. "Mr. Rocky," one of them said stiffly, "seems like you've got some personal matters to sort out. We'll take our leave." No matter how much my secretary tried to explain, they walked out, and just like that, the billion-dollar deal was gone. "Rocky, aren't you going to explain this to me?" Tony stared at me. I let out a cold laugh. "I didn't know you suddenly care about Tanya. You've never liked her before. What kind of stunt are you pulling today?" I glared at the male assistant who failed to stop him. "What's the use of paying you so much if you can't even keep someone out? Call the police." Tony's eyes widened. "If you think you're marrying my sister Rocky, dream on." I looked at the crowd forming around us and held back my fury. "She came to my house this morning to bring soup her mom made. That's considered cohabiting. And even if I do want to marry her, you're just her stepbrother. What right do you have to interfere? No blood relation." Tony scoffed. "To me, she's my real sister. We've lived together for 7 years." He was still rambling. I turned to the assistant. "Call the cops already. What are you waiting for retirement?" I was ready to explode. Escorted by security, my secretary led me to my office. She rushed in with a calming cup of tea. "Boss, please try to relax." I let my guard down a little. She was probably the only person in the company who didn't give me a headache. "I'm sorry, sir. I should have handled the situation better. Losing that client was on me. It's not your fault, Haley. Don't blame yourself for something beyond your control." Just as I finished speaking, the office door was pushed open again. "Rocky, are you saying it's not her fault?" "But Tony's." Tanya marched in with a pout. "He's my brother. He was just worried I'd get tricked. He got emotional, that's all. Besides, losing one deal can't hurt your big company, right?" Seeing her, Haley quietly left the room. Since when was she so protective of Tony? 2 years ago when we met, she always called him by name and said she didn't like him. But ever since her mother's company went bankrupt 3 months ago, Tanya quit her job. I offered her a position at my company, but she refused. "Why should I work? I don't want to live like a wage slave. Just take care of me, Rocky." I didn't mind. She was obedient and sweet. Providing for her wasn't a burden. But lately she had grown paranoid. Jealous if I so much as talked to another woman. Constant questioning, endless suspicion. I figured it was insecurity after her family's fall from grace. That's why I wanted to revive her mom's business. "That was a billion-dollar deal," I said flatly. Tanya's face turned stiff. She forced a smile. "I'm sorry, Rocky. I apologize on his behalf, but it's already done. You can't really call the police on him, can you?" "Why not? He's an adult. He tricked my staff to get in and caused massive losses. Being detained for a few days is already lenient." Her smile vanished. "You want to lock up my brother? What will my parents think of their future son-in-law? How can we go on like this? You really think I care about that money?" I stared at her, then sighed. "That deal was meant for your mom's company. If you think it's not important, then so be it." Her expression changed again. "Why didn't you tell me earlier? Tony's already done the damage. You saying this now just seems fake. And we've been bankrupt for 3 months. Now you suddenly want to help. Isn't it too late?" She looked like a stranger to me. Her mom had always been proud. When I offered financial help before, she refused. Said she'd fix it herself even if she had to sell her house and car. I figured a business deal would make it easier for her to accept my help. So I worked day and night this past month. And now it all seems like a joke. "You don't trust me?" I asked, stunned. Tanya's eyes flickered with resentment. "You got Tony arrested. How can I trust you? So if I don't press charges, will you trust me then?" She hesitated, then nodded. "Of course." I actually laughed. She really knew how to surprise me. "Then leave. I'm not dropping the charges. If I do, how will my team respect me? Besides, a grown man should take responsibility. He's not even your real brother, remember?" Tanya's eyes turned red. "Fine, Rocky. If you really do this, we're done." She ran out. I didn't follow. All I ever wanted was a relationship based on equality and freedom. Her jealousy never bothered me. It meant she cared. But today, after everything Tony did, she still took his side and tried to force my hand, even threatening to break up. Should I send Miss Tanya a gift? My secretary walked in quietly. She looked upset when she left. "No need." She said, "We're done." Boss women often say that when they want you to coax them. Why should I apologize? It wasn't my fault. Do I have to be the one to say sorry every time? I grew angrier the more I thought about it. Pulled out my phone and messaged my buddies to meet for drinks that night. But other than that, my phone stayed silent. I kept checking it, which made the others tease me. Rocky, if you miss her, just message her already. Yes, staring at your phone won't make her appear. I turned red, but my pride kept me from reaching out. Days passed, still no word from Tanya. After much persuasion from my secretary, I bought flowers and went to make peace. Passing her favorite dessert shop, I stopped to buy something sweet. At the end of the line, I saw her, my girlfriend, wrapped around another man's neck, blushing, flirting. And that man was Tony, a good brother, she cooed. I know you're just worried about me, but isn't this nice? Let's run away, Tony said. I don't want you marrying someone else. No, silly. We have no money now. If I marry him, he'll give us money. You can open your gym. I don't want your money. I want you. Tony said, I think about you all the time. We can't. You're my brother, at least on paper. Being with Rocky keeps suspicion away. The two of them kissed passionately, shocking the people in line. I turned and walked away, drove like a maniac back to the office, get rid of the flowers in my car, and change the vehicle. I don't want to see that one again. Furious, I smashed the matching couple mugs, her framed photo, and everything else she'd left on my desk. That shameless pair. Did they think I was their fool? No wonder she never called him brother. They were putting on an act the whole time. Yes, sir. A short while later, my secretary came to clean the mess and placed a new car key on my desk. Tanya hated being driven by anyone else. Didn't like women in the car either, so I always drove her myself. Guess I was her private chauffeur too. I went to the bar to drown my sorrows. I called my secretary. I'll double your salary. From now on, you're also my personal assistant. Take me home now. My head was spinning. I rubbed my temples. In a daze, I seemed to see my secretary's resentful face suddenly light up with joy. Yes, boss. Do you need me to help you up? Her flattering tone actually made me laugh. I had sent Tanya a pile of luxury goods. She never seemed that happy, but just promising a raise to my secretary, she immediately gave me emotional value. There was no comparison at all. I collapsed onto my bed in a daze. Boss, drink this hangover soup before you sleep. My brain was slow to react. She had already fed me a bowl. The warmth made me even sleepier. I had always been an early riser. It had become a habit over the years. When I went downstairs, the secretary was already waiting for me. Her punctuality was like an alarm clock. I pointed at her. She looked at me expectantly. I sighed. I remember the raise. Now find someone to investigate Tanya and her so-called brother. I want to know everything I shouldn't know. At this moment, it felt like a big green hat was hovering above my head. As soon as I arrived at the office, Tanya showed up. The moment she saw me, she ran over with a pitiful look. Rocky, you didn't come find me for days just because I said I wanted to break up. You really broke my heart. Oh really? You were kissing your supposed brother on the street. Didn't look heartbroken at all. I hid my anger. If I didn't look for you, you couldn't come to find me. Maybe my attitude was different now. Tanya was a little stunned. Then she forced a smile. Well, I'm here now. You already taught Tony a lesson. Can't you let it go? I made you a love lunch. Let's go to your office. I didn't say a word. Just let her follow me in. What used to warm my heart most was that Tanya, though a spoiled rich girl, always tried new ways to cook for me. She was adorable, without knowing it. Now seeing her open the lunchbox, I seriously suspected this was Tony's leftovers. Rocky, let me feed you. She leaned over. I shifted away slightly. I'm not hungry now. I have a meeting soon. You go have fun. I'll come find you later. Tanya pouted. Okay, then come to my house for dinner this weekend. My mom keeps talking about you. I gave her a vague response. Just when I thought she was leaving, she asked me for money. Rocky, I want to buy a bag. I really like it. If it were before, I would have been happy she was asking for money. But now, what if she's using my money to support her precious brother? If you like it, buy it. You know what I love about you, Tanya. You're not like other women. Others always want everything. But you want nothing at all. I smiled, patted her head. Tanya gave an awkward smile, her lips twitching. After she left, I couldn't help sneering. In the afternoon, the secretary walked in with a file. Boss, after Miss Tanya left the company, she went to Tony's workplace, took out a lunchbox just like yours and gave it to him. They stayed in the changing room for half an hour. Then Miss Tanya left. Her report was detailed, so detailed that I felt my imaginary hat grow even greener. The photos were suggestive. Why was her makeup smudged? Lipstick worn off, just from a changing room visit. Still think she's cute. Cute my ass. Feed that lunch to the dog. I rubbed my face furiously. I was too ashamed to face anyone. I didn't even want to meet my secretary's sympathetic gaze, as if she was saying, so what if you have money? You still got cheated on. It made me feel like a lovesick fool. Everything I did for Tanya suddenly felt idiotic. They were star-crossed lovers, and I was the clown who fell in love and dated her for nearly 2 years. That night, Tanya came again, saying she came to pick me up from work. Rocky, we were still in the office, but Tanya acted like she was in heat. Her cheeks flushed, breathing heavily. What? Tony couldn't satisfy her. I really wanted to ask, but I held back. I wanted them to pay a bigger price. I'm working overtime. No need to wait for me. I glanced at her indifferently, then kept my eyes on the screen. Tanya panicked. She jumped onto my desk, trying to pull at her clothes. I feigned surprise. Tanya, is it so cold? And you're still getting mosquito bites. What's that red mark? Tanya jumped, quickly pulled her clothes back up, facing my curious eyes. She laughed awkwardly. Maybe it's an allergic reaction. No wonder I felt a little off just now. I'll go to the hospital. Rocky, don't work too hard. Love you. Mwah mwah. She kissed me quickly and left with her purse. I called the secretary in. Disinfectant wipes. I need to clean my face. Soon. There was new intel from the private investigator. Tanya didn't go to any hospital. She went straight to find Tony, and the two of them were hot and heavy again. For the next few days, she came to me every time. When I made an excuse about work, she didn't press. She just went off to be lovey-dovey with Tony again. Until the weekend, Tanya asked me to have dinner at her place. Now, their entire household expenses depended on her stepfather's small company income. After Tanya's mother's company went bankrupt, she hadn't been in a good state. As soon as I arrived at their house, Tanya's parents came to greet me. One Rocky, after another, both of them showered me with compliments. Tanya, marrying you gives me absolute peace of mind. You two have been together for 2 years already. When do you plan to get engaged? Tanya's mother Mary finally revealed her true intention. She smiled warmly, looking at me with hopeful eyes. All her earlier words were just a build-up to this moment. Tanya's father Bame quickly followed up with a smile. Yes, the sooner you two get married, the sooner Mary can look after your children. Even if it's a granddaughter, I'd still love her just as much. Of course. The two of them echoed each other while I smiled politely and nodded. I looked toward Tanya. She kept her head down in silence, clearly unhappy. It all depends on what Tanya wants. If she agrees, we can get engaged as early as next month. The bride price will be 10 million yuan plus a car and a house. I'll prepare everything she deserves. My smile didn't waver. All three of them looked shocked after hearing my words. That much. Rocky, you know our family situation. We might not be able to afford such a large dowry. Mary awkwardly laughed as she wiped imaginary sweat from her forehead. I waved my hand. It doesn't matter. I only want Tanya. I love her. As long as she loves me, that's all I need. Of course I love you, Rocky. Tanya's eyes lit up with a bright smile. She really knew how to change her expression quickly. Just a moment ago, she seemed upset hearing her mother bring up marriage. Now she suddenly looks so sweet. Is it the mention of money? Or is she trying to fund an even bigger gym for Tony? I hid the chill in my eyes and sipped my tea. Just as dinner was about to start, Tony came home. He stormed in with anger on his face. Dad, Annie, Rocky once had me locked up. How could you let Tanya marry him? She'll never be happy with him. Bame's face instantly darkened. I told you not to come back today, aren't you working? Dad, Tanya is my sister. She's getting married. How could she not discuss this with me? Tony's voice grew louder. He dragged a chair over and sat down hard, glaring at me, as if I was stealing his wife. In the past, I thought Tony just disliked Tanya and by extension disliked me. But now it was obvious. He wasn't just her brother. He was competing for his wife. I looked at him and chuckled. Brother, weren't you the one who barged in and ruined a billion-yuan deal? If that deal had gone through, I could have revived Annie's company. If you really think you were right, then I have nothing more to say. As soon as I said that, Tanya's parents erupted in shock. They clearly hadn't known about this. 1 billion. Tony, I'll beat you to death. You're not even a tenth as good as Rocky. I'll kill you today. You told me it was just a few million. You're out of control. Bame went for the family punishment. Mary looked grim but didn't try to stop him. Uncle, let it go. Of course, I only stepped in symbolically. No way today. He has to be punished. He dared to ruin a billion-yuan deal. There's nothing he wouldn't do. Bame's face turned red with fury. He trembled with rage. Kneel. Tony glared at me viciously. He didn't want to kneel, maybe because I was watching, but his father's authority still worked. A few stern words, and he was forced to kneel. Tanya was the only one flustered. Dad, forget it. My brother didn't mean to. Besides, Rocky also went too far. Mary yanked Tanya aside before she could finish. You still think you're a rich young lady. 8 billion. You're not worthy of Rocky's love. How did I raise such a foolish daughter? I could tell that Mary and Bame were angry, yes, but most of it was for show. The wealth I promised was far more tempting than a mere 30 million dowry. Mary's gaze toward me grew more intense. Rocky, you're so young and dependable. Meanwhile, Tanya and her brother are so immature. You're making us lose face. Mary slapped her thigh, nearly fainting from rage. Bame forgot about punishing Tony and rushed to comfort her. Tanya's eyes were red. She was clearly worried about her mother's health, but even more upset that I wasn't standing up for her. Rocky, you've changed. You never used to be like this. You had to bring up the past and ruin dinner. I acted puzzled. Tanya, how could I have known you and your brother hid the truth from your parents? How is that my fault? I sincerely wanted to help your mom's company. Mary, who looked like she might pass out, perked up again. Tanya, I spoiled you too much. Rocky treats you so well and you still nitpick. If he gets tired of you and finds someone else, you'll have no one to blame but yourself. Right after she spoke, Tony protested. Even kneeling on the floor, red marks on his arms from Bame's ruler clearly visible. He scoffed. Tanya's amazing. Why should he find someone else? No other woman would want him anyway. wet. I'm not trying to be mean, but Rocky's just average. Male pride is a powerful thing. I sneered. No need for me to say anything. Bame and Mary tore into him like wolves. They ordered him out of the house. Mom, Uncle, we're going to be family soon. Why argue like this? My brother only said those things because he cares. He meant no harm. Mary pointed at Tony, furious. He treats you like. But she stopped midway, nudged by Bame. She swallowed her words. They were both still fuming. Mary was the first to calm down. Let's eat. Don't let Rocky think badly of us. It's fine, Andy. Every family argues. My parents never argue, but they also barely talk. Honestly, I kind of like your family. It's lively. I lied through my teeth. Mentally, I bowed deeply to my own parents. They were both from powerful families, but they'd never embarrassed themselves like this. Certainly not in front of outsiders. Rocky is such a gem. You can't find a better son-in-law even with a lantern. Tanya, cherish him. Take good care of him after you're married. After Tony slammed the door and left, the meal went smoothly. Tanya didn't look too happy though. Mary gave her a reminder and she barely forced a few smiles. After dinner, her parents urged us to go out together. We drove for a while. Then I pretended to just notice her mood. Tanya, what's wrong? Don't you want to get engaged to me? That finally got her attention. She forced a smile. No, Rocky, it's just, I'm still worried about my brother. He did all that for me. Everyone scolded him today. He must be feeling awful. I hit the brakes hard and looked at her coldly. Tanya, your brother doesn't want you to marry me. You think that's for your own good. Why didn't you say a word to defend me? We're supposed to be family now. He's not your real brother. You protect him, think for him. Have you ever thought about how I feel? Let's both calm down. You can get out here. I unlocked the door and didn't look at her. Rocky, she tried to explain, but when she saw my cold face, or maybe because she felt guilty, she suddenly started crying. Rocky, why don't you trust me? My whole heart belongs to you. You're busy with work, so I don't disturb you. I just care about my family. Why would you assume the worst about me? You've really hurt me. I stayed silent. The car's hazard lights blinking. As I waited for her to get out, Tanya cried a little longer, then angrily slammed the door and walked away. I wasn't worried about her safety. After all, Tony's old Ford Focus had been following us the entire time. Maybe he was afraid I'd do something to Tanya. Ridiculous. That second-hand woman, used and passed around. There was no way I'd ever touch her again. I drove away and went back to work. Sure enough, the next day, Tanya came to apologize. After all, I'd promised a generous dowry, and her mother and Tony's father were surely counting on that. Rocky, she said sweetly, it was my emotions yesterday. I love you too much. Please don't ignore me. If you don't like my brother, I won't bring him up again. Let's just live a good life together. You haven't touched me in a while. I really miss you, she whispered as she tried to sit on my lap, but I wasn't having it. Tanya, this isn't the first time you've done this. You've really let me down. I think we should take a break. Let's not see each other for now. And about the engagement, forget it. She panicked. Without me, how could she keep living? Like a spoiled princess? No, like a wealthy heiress. Rocky, do you have someone else? Her voice trembled, eyes filled with disbelief. Tears welled up. What a joke. She actually dared to ask that. No, you still don't trust me. That exhausts me even more. I sighed, rubbing my temples, looking completely drained. That's not what I meant, she muttered. Then rest. I'll come find you in a few days. Whatever you say. It's just because I love you too much. She quickly wiped a tear from her cheek, then turned and left my office. The moment she was gone, the emotion vanished from my face. Later that night, after working until midnight, I went to my usual bar. This time, I brought my secretary with me. Haley, I asked, do you think your boyfriend would ever betray you behind your back or keep secrets from you? I leaned my chin on my hand and looked at her. No, because I don't have one. Work's been too busy. She shook her head. It was the first time I'd seen her drink. She was quiet and composed. Who knew if she could even hold her liquor? I'm busy too. So why do I have a girlfriend? Because you're the boss. President Rocky. Haley sighed. I should give you time off, but I really can't. You're too good at your job. Let me give you a raise instead. A little compensation for being single. I was feeling quite proud of this idea, waiting for her praise. But then, her face appeared close. Too close. She kissed me. Our lips met. I almost lost control. Consider that your compensation. She quickly sat back down, then downed several more drinks. They say you're rich and handsome, and kissing you must feel amazing. I just wanted to see for myself. You said compensation. You're not going to fire me, right? She looked like a nervous kitten, stealing glances at me. Now I understood why Tanya never saw her as a threat. Haley always kept her distance, like a robot. But tonight, she came alive. I grabbed her by the neck and kissed her again. After a while, we broke apart gasping. Now that's a real feeling. My voice was hoarse. Her eyes were hazy. That night, something indescribable happened. The next morning, on my bedside table, I found 10 bills and a sticky note. Thanks for your hard work, boss. Seriously, isn't this usually what men do? Just disappear. Haley, you're dead meat. First thing at the office, I was ready to confront her, but to my surprise, surprise. Tanya was already waiting for me. Right, we hadn't officially broken up yet. Rocky, I missed you so much. Even though it's only been a day. I missed you. She giggled sweetly. I kept a straight face. Didn't we agree to cool off for a few days? Now you're not even listening to me. Fine, I'm not ending things. Don't worry, I'm preparing for the engagement. Once things settle down, we'll talk again. I rubbed my temples and went to make myself a coffee. Tanya kept chattering about how happy she was. Then she finally left. Haley came in. Boss, Miss Tanya just left, and Tony came to pick her up. Looks like they came together. Good. Prepare the video. This engagement, I want to destroy them both. Yes, boss. She turned to leave, but I stopped her. Think about our relationship too. During this time, you can go. Only after she left did I realize how unsettled I felt. It was strange. The thing about Haley was, she never asked why, never questioned me. Unlike Tanya, whose face always revealed her every thought. Haley, that woman was something else. I worked all day, but found myself constantly distracted. The engagement was scheduled for the beginning of next month. In the blink of an eye, the day arrived. I didn't send a suit, didn't try to comfort Tanya. They didn't dare rush me, afraid I'd back out. They were also too busy, trying to keep Tony in check. That alone was enough to drain them. On the engagement day, everything was set. I didn't invite my real family, didn't want them to see the show. Haley hired a bunch of actors to play my relatives. Tanya's parents were busy flattering my fake parents, their expressions shameless, but their goal clear. Tanya held my arm on stage, ready to toast the guests. The host spoke festive words about our union. Rocky, didn't you prepare the dowry in cash? My family's here. My mom's a bit embarrassed, Tanya whispered. I smiled and reassured her. Don't worry, it's all ready. The cash boxes are on the way. We'll open them after this part. She nodded satisfied, smiling as she clung to me. Rocky, I'm so happy to be marrying you. I'll make you lunch every single day. Looking at Tony's eyes below the stage, burning with jealousy and rage, I curled my lips into a cold smile. Let your brother say something too, I said casually, since he seems more important to you. Tanya's expression changed. She glanced at Mary, who gave her a sharp look. Tanya quickly shook her head. Forget it, Rocky. Today's about us, not him. But Tony had already heard me, and with self-assured arrogance, jumped onto the stage. Bame beside him tried to stop him, but failed. If Tanya isn't happy marrying you, I as her brother will take her away, he declared loudly. Those who were paying attention understood his meaning, but others only saw a protective brother. Suddenly, the lights in the room went out. Only the large screen remained bright. Everyone thought it was a surprise reveal. Rocky, did you prepare a surprise I didn't know about? Tanya's excited voice rang beside me. Then, the screen began to play. A video of her and Tony in bed, their intimate conversation clearly audible. Tanya, you're mine. You can't marry Rocky. Say you love me, or I'll spank you hard. Tony's voice threatened, followed by Tanya's sultry moans, her face twisted with desire. The clip didn't last long. I love you, but we are siblings in name. We can't get married. Tanya's voice repeated. The video looped. When the lights came back on, the actors Haley had arranged started shouting and condemning loudly. Mary and Bame were being shamed and scolded by relatives and acquaintances. Tanya screamed hysterically. It's fake. It's all fake. Someone's trying to ruin me. She clutched her arms and ran toward the screen, trying to destroy it. But Tony beat her to it. He grabbed her, pulling her into his arms. Tanya, I'm here. Get away from me. Tanya shrieked. Her sharp nails slashed across Tony's face. Mary and Bame rushed up, trying to pull the two apart. It was chaos. Tony finally realized what had happened. He pointed at me furious. You set us up. Rocky, what did I do to you? Tanya, you disgust me. You were with your own brother. I loved you, treated you well, and this is what I get. Was a few minutes all it took for him to turn you into a slut? I shouted, my voice raw. The anger was real. The humiliation was unbearable. No, Rocky, please believe me. Tanya fell to her knees, reaching for my pant leg, crying. I stepped back in disgust, still lying. You think I didn't see it with my own eyes? You lasted a few minutes. You think I can't do better? I've trained. My body's 10 times better than his. Tony's pride as a man was shattered. He had barely yelled before Bame picked up a chair and smashed it on his head. A wedding turned into a scandal. I was satisfied. Haley instructed the actors to leave. As for Tanya's side, since it was Bame who struck first, no one dared call the police. Only an ambulance was called. You bastard, Bame yelled. You ruined your sister's wedding. What good does that do you? Mary was sobbing, yet still had the presence of mind to check the cash boxes. When she opened them, bundles of fake money spilled into the air. She fainted on the spot. Tanya sat on the ground, completely speechless with terror. Weren't they planning to use me as the backup groom to collect a fat dowry? Now they could keep the fake bills. As the guests left, all I heard were curses from Tanya's relatives. They had never been so humiliated. Tanya still had the audacity to follow me to the parking garage. Rocky, please listen to me. I don't love Tony. This is all all a misunderstanding. Her makeup was ruined, and she looked pathetic. I was cold as ice. Oh, I arranged the recording. Saw you kiss him with my own eyes. You disgust me. Tanya shook her head desperately. It's my fault. I was foolish. I only did it to provoke you. Please forgive me. I really love you. You're always so busy. But I'm a woman. I have needs too. But I always use protection. I swear I'm clean. I almost laughed. Tanya, there's no one dirtier than you in my eyes. From this moment on, I never want to see you again. I got in the car. The driver locked the doors. Tanya slapped the windows, crying something, but I didn't care to hear it. Back home, I waited for Haley. The chaos at the engagement party needed cleanup. It's all handled, boss. Good. We were both silent, neither of us mentioning that night. Finally, I broke the silence. So, what have you decided? I won't be a mistress. I want to be a girlfriend, not a disposable one either. No chance for me. She paused. There is, but you can't use it as an excuse to dock my pay or fire me. I need this job. She still didn't trust me. Understandable. It had all happened so fast. I didn't ask her to stay the night. I planned to date her properly, step by step, because I knew Haley was an extraordinary woman. The next person to show up was Tony. He was waiting in the garage, holding a knife. You ruined Tanya. I won't let you live. Die, Rocky. He charged at me. I shoved Haley out of the way, facing him alone. Thankfully, my workouts paid off. I wasn't stabbed too badly. Rocky, I called the police. Security's coming. Haley shouted. You have a girlfriend now. Why did you have to ruin my sister? You tore us apart. I'll kill you. Tony was hysterical. Before security took him down, he slashed my arm. Blood soaked my shirt. Haley's eyes turned red. She frantically called for an ambulance. It was the first time I saw her panic. She pressed down on my wound, tears falling down her cheeks. Tony was arrested. I had stitches and was moved to a hospital room. Haley, I need water. I looked up at her with a grin. Rocky, you really are terrible. I've liked you for 3 years, and 2 of those, you were dating someone else. I just wanted to work. We're too different. Why did you push me away today? Trying to be a hero. She wiped her tears, and I knew she wanted to hit me. I couldn't let you get hurt. If anyone has to die, it's going to be me first. Before I could reply, she kissed me. My heart jumped, but she pulled back angrily. A CEO without a bodyguard. That's unacceptable. You need 2. Minimum. There are too many psychos now. Alright. Whatever my future wife says, I'll listen. I smiled and let her ruffle my hair. Haley instructed the company's legal team to go all out against Tony. He was definitely going to prison. Throughout the process, Mary and Bame never showed up. Only Tanya came. She knelt before me. Rocky, I'm begging you. Please don't let him go to jail. He's already been in once. You weren't even seriously hurt. Do you love me or not? Tanya sobbed and shouted. I was so furious I felt like spitting blood. I curled my lips into a smile. What? Only if I die. You finally start to worry about me. Tony didn't manage to kill me. Otherwise you'd be crying at my grave today. That's impossible. Tony has boundaries. He was just upset over how you treated me. And you ruined me. Left me with no reputation. My mom and uncle can't even lift their heads anymore. And I haven't even held you accountable for all that. If you insist on sending Tony to prison, then I'll sue you too. Tanya glared at me in fury. I moved my fingers and coughed lightly. I don't understand what you're saying. What does this have to do with me? Haley came in from outside immediately. Haley, get out. You're just a secretary. You, Tanya. And what are you? A backstabbing ex. The one who should leave is you. And unless you have evidence that proves our boss orchestrated the engagement fiasco, I suggest you shut your mouth, or we will sue you for defamation. Haley had always been emotionally intelligent, but now she didn't need to be polite anymore. Tanya was dumbfounded. You clearly planned everything, yet you still deny it. Enough. I don't want to talk about your betrayal anymore, and I never want to see you again. As for Tony, he's definitely going to prison. I waved my hand, my tone full of irritation. Haley called security to escort Tanya out. Of course, Tanya didn't give up. Rocky, I have no face left to live with. Because of you, my uncle and my mom divorced. If you really push us into a corner, I'll kill myself at the door of your company. If you don't want to marry me, then give me 30 million, a house, and a car. Otherwise, none of us will live peacefully. I laughed. You didn't want it before, and now you're begging for it. Why should I give you anything? Your parents divorced. Isn't that perfect? Wait a few more years, and you can marry your beloved brother. He even went to jail for you. Tanya shook her head desperately. The only person I ever loved is you. I turned to Haley. Are the lab reports on the lunchboxes ready? Sue her for attempted poisoning. Haley nodded. Back then, I was so mad I told her to feed the lunches to the dog. After a few days, the dog died. Haley immediately arranged a full medical checkup for me. Luckily, the poison meals started exactly when I had stopped eating them. Tanya glared at me. You're making things up. How could I possibly poison you? The evidence is solid. If not you, then your dear brother. But since he's already inside, you can go join him. As soon as I finished speaking, Tanya rushed out, clearly to confront Tony. Later, she returned crying and begging again. Rocky, it was him. He poisoned you, not me. He was jealous. He wanted to ruin us. I was tricked by him. Tanya kept insisting she hadn't poisoned me, but telling me was pointless. She should explain that to the police. What I didn't expect was that after she was sentenced, her mental state collapsed. She was sent to a psychiatric hospital on the same day Tony was sentenced. When they schemed together, trying to make a fool of me, they should have known their ugliness would be exposed one day. If you like playing with fire, you'd better be ready to burn. The end. If you like Kitten's story, please follow and like it. Updated every morning at 9 a.m.